Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Miguel Noob, and I'm back with another March to the King Godzilla 2018 Monster Monday video. And in this video, I want to discuss the potential Toho Legendary crossover of a Godzilla vs. Godzilla movie. And, okay, here we go. Originally, before the King Kong vs. Godzilla rumor was announced, I imagine that when Toho was creating this new Godzilla in 2016, I thought maybe what was the reason they were creating this? Because Godzilla 2014 was very successful. It's getting sequels. It's not like Godzilla 98, which wasn't getting any sequels. In Godzilla Versus for PS4 and Godzilla the game, Bandai was promoting Godzilla 2014 versus Godzilla Heisei heavily as the big fight in the movie. That's what we thought the main storyline of the game was: Godzilla 2014 versus Godzilla Heisei. Now, this has led me to think, with Toho creating a new Godzilla in 2016, they say they want to outdo the legendary film. They're making this the biggest Godzilla ever, and they're making him close to 54, and this is going to be the worst nightmare ever. With Godzilla being a hero monster in 2014, and him being this worst nightmare in 2016, I wonder if for the 70th anniversary, could Toho or Legendary create Godzilla vs. Godzilla, where Godzilla 2016 fights Godzilla 2014? That's just an idea I had based on the fact Toho's creating a new Godzilla. The Legendary Godzilla and it are going in opposite directions, and that was the main storyline for the latest Godzilla game that came out, Godzilla 2014 versus Godzilla Heisei. And unlike Godzilla 98, Toho considers Godzilla 2014 to be a worthy sequel and a worthy successor, and they consider it to be a real Godzilla. Now, with the King Kong vs. Godzilla announcement, there was rumors on Toho Kingdom that perhaps King Kong vs. Godzilla could be a separate continuity from the Legendary Godzilla trilogy. If that happens, that will be two Legendary Godzillas created. This Godzilla vs. Godzilla idea could still happen at Legendary if the Godzilla from King Kong vs. Godzilla and a potential Pacific Rim 3 Godzilla, if that Godzilla was to meet Legendary Godzilla in a fight, that would be awesome for me too, because I assume with Godzilla fighting King Kong, if it's not the Legendary Godzilla, I assume they're going to create a new Godzilla that's more towards being a villain versus being a force of nature and being more on the good side as Godzilla 2014 was. There was also, this was a fan rumor, I don't think this would happen, that they could create a Godzilla 4 Pacific Rim 3, which will give us 3 Legendary Godzillas that could all fight, and then Toho, the Legendary Godzilla, Kong Godzilla, and the Pacific Rim Godzilla could fight in a 4-way battle. That is strictly for a video game. That would not work in a movie. The only thing I see working in a movie would be Godzilla 2016, the new Toho Godzilla fighting the Legendary Godzilla, or if this Legendary creates a King Kong Godzilla, I'm going to call him the Warner Godzilla since King Kong and Godzilla will be in Warner. I can see the Warner Bros. Godzilla fighting the Legendary Godzilla from Godzilla, Legendary Godzilla from the Godzilla trilogy versus the Warner Universal Godzilla from the potential King Kong versus Godzilla movie, and maybe even the potential Godzilla versus Pacific Rim versus King Kong movie. That's the only way I see this Godzilla versus Godzilla idea happening. Either the two Legendary Godzillas fight, Legendary Godzilla versus Warner Godzilla, or Toho versus Legendary Godzilla fighting. I wouldn't mind Toho creating a suit for Legendary Godzilla if they do the movie, or Legendary could make a CGI version of the new Toho Godzilla to fight Legendary Godzilla. Either way, I don't really think Godzilla vs. Godzilla is happening, but this was just an idea I thought I'd throw out. And personally, I wouldn't mind seeing Godzilla vs. Godzilla. I think it could be a good movie. It would be the first time it's ever happened. We got close with Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla. There was supposed to be Godzilla vs. Ghost Godzilla. That never happened. That would have actually been Godzilla Heisei versus the Ghost of the 54 Godzilla. That would have basically been Godzilla vs. Godzilla. Godzilla vs. Godzilla was a working title, and also Godzilla vs. Ghost Godzilla was the same idea for it. There was supposed to be Godzilla vs. Q got close, and Godzilla vs. Godzilla cross Mechagodzilla, Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. There was rumors that they were going to clone the 54 Godzilla to fight the Kyu Saga Godzilla for the 50th anniversary film. because Toho extracted Godzilla DNA. Toho, the people, G-Force, or the government extracted Godzilla DNA at the end of Tokyo SOS in a post-credit scene. So there was a rumor we were getting Godzilla vs. Godzilla's the 50th anniversary movie. And then we got Godzilla vs. Godzilla 98 in Final Wars as a joke fight. So we've gotten pretty close, but we've never actually done a Godzilla vs. Godzilla. My dream version of Godzilla vs. Godzilla would either be Godzilla 2000 fighting the GMK Godzilla, Godzilla 2000 fighting the 54 Godzilla, or Final Wars Godzilla fighting the GMK Godzilla, or maybe even the new Toho Godzilla versus the legendary Godzilla could look alright. I also wouldn't mind, there's several designs I wouldn't mind, but yeah, legendary Godzilla versus Toho Godzilla I think is the most likely scenario, or legendary versus the crossover Godzilla if we do get a new Godzilla for these crossovers. So let me know what you think in the comments section. Thank you everybody for watching this video. I'm Miguel Newman. If you enjoyed this video, please like, rate, comment, and subscribe. Have an enjoyable day.